Heidi ho, my crafty friends. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. So today trying to get you straightened up here. So today we are going to punch some holes in some signatures. Woohoo! So let's get started. All right, so I hope you've got your signatures together. And let me move the book cover over there. Okay. Now, the first thing you're going to need is your hidden spine. As you can see, I punched already. I punched the holes here in the bottom with the Crocodile Big Bite. Now, if you have one of these and you're going to use one of these, you're going to use the setting that is 1/8, okay? So these can do a couple of things. These can punch holes that are 1/8. Hold on. I think mine's cold. They can punch holes that are 3/16. And all the way to the front, they can set up here, they can set eyelets. So let me show you the difference. Here's the eyelet setting up here. Okay. And you can change it from the large eyelets to the small eyelets, depending on, what you've put in. And you flip these around up to the setting that you need. And then you can slide it back here and down here. That's for 1/8 inch holes. That's what we're going to use today. And if you want the bigger holes, the 3/16 inch holes, it comes out toward the back here. Okay, like that. So we're going to punch 1/8. Now, if you have the smaller one, the handheld one, and then down here's a little guide that you can slide, like if you're punching papers, and it tells you 1/8 inch hole, the eyelet setting, and the 3/16. So if you're punching a lot, you can move this part back and forth and get a consistent hole punch. Now, if you have the smaller handheld one, you can get some punches. Like, I could have gotten this punch and this punch, but I can't get in that far to get the middle. I can do the sides. You could probably do the sides. Let's see. For the 1/8. Yeah, you could do the middle from the sides. So you could use your handheld Crocodile and get the sides if you wanted. So you could use this to do the sides. Okay? You don't need your big one to do this. You can use this one. You just have to go sideways. Okay? So you would put it in and then you would punch sideways. And you would flip it around and you would do sideways. And then for the bottom, you would go this way. Now, it depends on how far in you've gotten on the bottoms. So it might be easier to go sideways depending on the thickness down here. It might just be easier to go sideways to do it that way. Just make sure that you've got these marked with something that you can see through this tiny little hole, because that little hole sometimes is hard to see. Okay? And you also have this little slide that you can, slide back and forth and adjust if you need to. Okay? Okay. Now, I told you I was going to show you how to mark them. So if you still have your paper clips on the sides, move them up to the top. Hold it with your hand and move your paper clip up to the top. Okay, you don't want to scoot your papers around or anything like that. So scoot your paper clips up to the top because you don't want anything interfering with your spines. Okay, now make sure, go through the bottom like this. Make sure you have found top. Okay, so I have this, so I know this is the top. Make sure your paper clips are on the top. Okay? That's important. You want to make sure that they're on the top. Oh, that's not. It's upside down. So I need to turn it this way. Your paper clip needs to be at the top. Okay, and that's the top. But I need to verify because I took that out. Okay, I'm at the top. All right, pull out one of them. If you're not going to do them with, if you're going to try it with one of these two punches, if you're going to try it with one of these, pull one of them out to do with your awl. If you're going to do it with your awl, all of them with your awl, then just keep them together and hang tight for a second. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do one of them with the awl and the others with your crocodile. But I'm going to show you how to mark all of them together. So put them all together and turn your hidden spine sideways. All right, so let me scoot this up because my big head's going to be in your way again. Now I'm going to grab a pencil here. I need one with a good point on it. Ah, that'll work. And you want to line it up on your lines, and you need to make sure that you can see your dots. Okay, sorry, my arm's going to be in your way for a second. Maybe not. Hold on a minute. Okay, let me use this. I'm trying to mark these so you can see them. I don't think you can see that. I'm trying to get something that you guys can see. Ah, here, I think you can see that, maybe. Okay, I know you can see that one that I punched. That was why I punched it, because I knew you'd be able to see it. Okay, these two black dots right here and that one. That's what we're going for. Okay, so I'm going to line this up on a line. I'm actually going to bring it closer so I don't have to lean out. You're going to put your signatures together. Okay? You're going to scoot this up. And I'm sorry, you're going to see my head. You're going to scoot that up just so that it comes up underneath your paper. Just like that. Okay, see how it lines up? Just like that. Okay, I have to stand up to do this. I'm too short otherwise. Sorry. Okay. So you want it lined up completely with your paper. Okay. Just like this. Just like that. And you want all your edges together. Okay, now take your pencil up against your dot and just run a line. Straight up. Now go to the next one. Do the same thing. Now, you can do the fold. You can do the paper fold if you want. You know, that I've showed you before. You can do the paper fold if you want. Okay, don't move them. But this is how I do it, honestly. This is how I do it 9 times out of 10. Pick them up. Make sure all 4 of them have a mark on them. This one does not. Make sure it does. Okay, now they all 4 have a mark in the same spot. Okay, see those? Oops, I'm sorry. My camera's up too high. I can't see it. Let me bring you down. Okay, see them? They all four have a mark. Okay, now, and that mark lines up with that black dot. Oops. Sorry. That mark lines up with those black dots, okay, that are on here. Okay. Now, let me scoot this right there. Okay. So now what you're going to do, now you're going to keep them paper clipped. I'm going to put this one aside to use with my awl. These three, I'm going to unpaper clip, and I'm going to find the center. And I'm going to turn inside out so I can see them. And I'm going to make sure that they're straight. And I'm going to put a paper clip there. And I'm just going to grab a regular one. And I'm going to put it at the bottom on the other side. Okay? And I'm going to do that with all the other three. Okay? So I'm going to open this up. Now I'm trying not to move my pages. So I'm just doing the top and the bottom. That's all I'm doing, top and bottom. But I'm stacking them. So I'm making sure that the big paper clip is at the top. Okay? Making sure the big paper clip is at the top. And I'm stacking them together. I'm opening them up. And it doesn't matter if the big paper clip's on the, you know, what side. I'm just making sure that it's at the top. Okay. Now, I need to make sure that they're all together, that all of their spines are together. Because I'm going to punch them. I'm going to try to punch them all together. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we're going to try. Okay, so I've got them all lined up together. My punch isn't going to go through all that. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's not big enough. Okay, so I'm going to do these one at a time so I can show you. So I'm going to go take my punch, and I'm going to punch through all these lines. That's why I have them turned inside out. Now to do that, I'm going to use my big bite, and I'm going to try to turn my camera so you can see it. So hold on here. Let me maneuver my camera down so you can see it. Hold on a second. I want to maneuver my camera. I'm going to try to maneuver it so you can see it. All right, so I'm going to put the one I'm punching. Let me move that. I'm going to put the one I'm punching right here. You're going to see it on blue. Okay, the one we're going to do with the awl, we're going to put over here. All right. Now, let's see if I can maneuver this so you can see this. All right, hold on a second here. Okay, here are the dots. And okay, there's one. Okay, I don't need that. Okay, can you see that coming down right there? Now that's punching through all the pages that are in the signature. So when you get to the other end, you just have to turn it around and do the other end like that. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing on the other two. Now, I don't know if the other two will fit in there or not, because the space in there is a little small. But let's try it and see. It might. Ooh, I think I jarred you. So I'm punching now through two signatures. Okay, so all three of the signatures have been punched, 3 of the 4, and this is what they do. It just punches it right out the bottom. Okay, so now let's get you back up here. Now for the 4th signature, I'm going to show you how to do the awl. So you're going to take your awl. You're pretty much going to do the same way. You're going to open it up backwards. You're going to make sure that your paper clip is on the top. Okay? And then you're going to put a small one on the bottom. And it doesn't matter right or left. Just make sure that one paper clip is on the top so that you can identify the top. If you have a big paper clip, the big paper clip on the top is usually the best way to do it. Now, when I do the awl, let me make sure I'm in focus for you here. I always put a book underneath me, and this is just my old glue and punch book. I start in the middle, and I punch through. Now my fingers are beneath it. Okay, and then I either go to top or bottom. Okay. And that just helps keep my signatures from wiggling. Okay, so there are my 3 signatures. There's my last signature. Okay? Now, you're going to close it up. And you can go on and take the bottom paper clip off. But leave the other paper clip on. Now, you can also do the same with the others. Now you can decide which one you want where. Okay? Don't take these apart. You can't take these apart because you punch them in a certain order, but you can't take them apart because they won't fit anyplace else. But you can look through them and say, I think I would like, maybe if I look through them and I say, I think I might like the bird number 3. I think I might like that bird number 1. Okay. And then I might like the butterfly number 2. And then the flowers. Okay. So for me, when I do that, I always mark mine like this. I go number 1. Now this is just me. This does not have to be you. And then I mark mine number 2. See how mine come down? And then I turn mine over. And mine come down a little bit, number 3, because I'm going to sew mine in like that. Now, we still need to punch this. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this as I did on the other. I'm going to put this in my crocodile, and I'm going to punch my holes. So after I get all these punched, we are going to sew these in. So we're going to need your thread, you're going to need your needle, and you're going to need your glue. For your glue, I highly recommend a very strong glue, or a very, I don't want to say strong like in odor glue, but a glue that is very strong for its strength. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Like, I always use Fabri-Tac for this. So, but if you have like 3-in-1, or if you like to use your, if you like to use this, if you like to use tacky glue, then I would use tacky glue, you know, something like that. All right, so let me move this out of the way here. Hold on, I have a light in my way. Let me put this down here out of my way. And let me put the little guy out of the way. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use to sew them in. Now, for sewing, it's no different than sewing any other signature. You want 3 times. And you want a blunt needle. Okay, and because our holes are punched, it can be a needle that has a little bit of a bigger eye, and you still want a blunt eye on it because you don't want your papers to get pierced. Okay. And you're going to sew these in just like any other signatures. You're going to start at the back and work your way to the front. Okay, so we need to determine the top. This is my top. My ladybugs were the bottom. So we're going to put it in the center. You don't want to pull it through. Now remember, every time we do these, the first one is the hardest. Go to the top hole. Go to the top hole. And the reason it's the hardest is because it's flipping and flopping around on you. But it will settle down after you get it. After you get the first signature in, it will settle down. So don't panic, you know, and don't give up. It will settle down. After you get the first signature in, it will settle down. Okay. And then back into the center. You just have to be patient. And always check. Before you tie your knot, always check. Come back here and always check. Make sure you've got the right hole. And then okay, now tie your knot. Now, if you can feel that, it's not flipping and flopping anymore. It's because we've added a little bit of support to it. Okay. There. Now we can take that off. We can fold that over. Now let's do the next one. Now, if you want, you can pull out all of your thread at one time, if you choose to. Okay, and you're always going to start in the middle. You're always going to just don't pull it through. Just don't pull it through like I just did. And don't go backwards like I just did. In the middle, out through the middle. Good heavens, Lori, you silly woman. Okay. Okay. Come here, hole. Okay. Now you're going to go back through the top. Now don't forget, check it before you tie that hole or tie that thread. So far, so good. Whoops. What did I do? Oh, I cut a piece. That's all right. No big deal. You're going to have things like that you folded, you forgot you folded. And, you know, when you trim your pages, you cut them. Unless it's a fold that you... Now, if you have a fold and you positively, you know, forever want to keep that fold, mark it with a paper clip. That way, when you go to cut your signatures, there's a paper clip there, and you go, oh yeah, I wanted to unfold that for a minute. And, okay, I just lost my needle. Oh, there it is. Mark it with a paper clip. And that way you won't, okay, so something's not tight here. There we go. There, that's better. And that way when you go to cut, you'll see it. And you won't cut through it. When I have papers that fold up from the bottom, that's my reminder to do that. Now, I don't always trim off my bottom threads in the beginning. I wait until I'm finished, and then I come back and do it. Okay. But you can do it if you choose to. You can go on and do it right now. It's not going to hurt anything. Come on, go in the hole. There we go. Whoops, I missed a hole right there. All right, we're going to see if this will punch through there. Okay, I can tell you, this will punch through that cardboard. And lickety-split, too. It just punched right through it. Oh, my goodness, I did it again, you guys. Yeah, I'm not having trouble with the spine. I'm having trouble with my brain. Okay, as you can see, this hole right here, it's not on my fold. So I let my paper slip, and you'll have that. You'll have that sometimes. So don't panic. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. You can, you know, refold the paper. Okay, I didn't do something right here because this thread is really short and does not feel right. It's tight in there, but really loose out here. That's better. Okay, remember me telling you, check your threads. Okay, I want you to look at something. This there. these threads were really loose and I either did not cut it right, or maybe I didn't measure it right. Maybe I just cut it ×2 because it was really loose. Okay, maybe I just cut it ×2 because it was really loose, and then all of a sudden it got really tight. All right, let's try it again and see if that was what I did. Okay, we're going to do the last one. Now, I'm going to put this. Now, as you noticed, as I'm sewing them in, I'm putting my paper clips back at the top to keep my pages from wiggling and squiggling. Now, this is the one that I punched with the awl. So, let's see if this is just as easy getting the needle through as the other ones were. And if you noticed, it was a lot easier getting the needle through these, sewing these in, using the crocodile rather than the awl. There it is. Because normally we have trouble getting these through. Okay. Because just like that. Right there. There it is. And as we've gotten more pages onto our, there it is, onto our hidden spine, it has settled down. It's not as wiggly as it was. It's not as bouncing around. All right, you need to come back through. Okay, so I am not doing something right here. There we go. That's better. Okay, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to get this glued in, and then we're going to call this one a day, because this has to dry. Before we can do anything, the signatures have to dry. And they'll have to dry overnight. Okay, so here are our signatures, all sewed in. Yeah, they look nice. All right, so let's get this back in here. All right, so let's get this in the trash. And we're not going to need that, but we are going to need, now where'd my, here it is. We're going to need that. We're going to need those. And we need this little guy. Okay, so I'm going to cover this with glue. And then we're going to put it in the middle of our book. Now, this is not the time to say, oh dear, I don't think I need a lot of glue. This is the time you need glue. Because this is what is going to support your book. Okay? So you go up and down both sides. Make sure you go in the middle where your strings are, all the way across. Okay? You can even put a piece of fabric across there, but that's what this is. Okay, that's what that is. Now, to prevent this from oozing and goozing out, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to smear it around. I'm actually going to take 2 fingers. Oh, 3 fingers it looks like. And I want to smear it out. Okay. There we go. Now, I want to take this. Oh my gracious, I've got glue everywhere. Hold on here, I'm trying to get it off my hands. Okay. Now, you want to make sure, number 1, that your book is going up. Number 2, that you're going up. And then you want to line this up in the middle. Right where it's supposed to go. Okay? So, as you can see, I've pulled my edges up. Okay? To make sure that I'm not out of alignment. Okay, so you can open this up to the middle. You can squish it down. So I'm going to take these. Actually, I think, because they're not going to hold down very well. I'm going to grab another rubber band and some clamps. There they are. There's the big boys. Okay. I'm going to put some bigger clamps in here. I don't think I need a lot of them, but I'm going to put them right there. And I'm going to put a book across here. One of my big books here. Come here, you. And I'm going to let this sit. Actually, I think I just might use the book for a little bit. Eat my lunch and then come back and then turn it the other direction so that it dries the other direction. But this will at least hold it down for now. And then I'll flip it. Let's see, maybe I should do it this side. Or maybe I need a book under both sides. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, I'm going to put one under both sides here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to put a book under both sides. Yeah, we'll do it that way. And I'm just going to let it sit for a little while. And I think I'm going to have some lunch. And then when I come back, I'm going to take this big rubber band and I'm going to put the rubber band around it. I'm actually going to use 2 of them. And I'm going to close it just like this book is. Just like a regular book. And I'm going to clamp it shut so that the signatures can't come out. And that will keep the signatures where they're supposed to be until the glue has dried. Now, we put so much glue in there that it's probably going to take a good couple of hours for it to dry. So I'm going to give it overnight for it to dry up really well. And then we'll come back tomorrow and we'll have our next video. So I'm so glad you joined me today. Excuse me. Hold on a second. I need a drink of water. I'm so glad you joined me today in getting our signatures in our book. So now we can start decorating and having some fun and really getting into this. So don't forget, you can like, you can comment, and you can share all the fun that we're having. Oh, good. We're right on schedule. And if you have any questions, don't forget to leave them down below in the comment section. And I'll be glad to answer them for you. And don't forget, this is a pre-recorded video, of course. And by the time you're seeing this, I'm a grandma. So I'm so excited. And I'll tell you all about him when I get home. I'm sure he's just a little cutie pie. And you guys stay safe and stay warm. And until I see you again in my next video, ta-ta for now.